stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up. And throughout the world today.
Right, Malcolm?
I will. I'm still working.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being with me. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question for this week. My biblical question. Do you know any unfortunate or disadvantaged people? Do you know any unfortunate or disadvantaged people? That is the biblical question for this week. And remember, we have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, you're busy, and you can't watch the show live right now, you're going to podcast later, but you want to still listen to it while you're doing what you're doing, whatever it might be. You can call the listen line on your iPhone or iPad at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. Don't forget to follow us, JLP Talk on Twitter, better known as X now, JLP Talks on X, and cozy.tv/JLP, cozy.tv-JLP. All right? Amazing. So like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe, recommend, whatever. Y'all know what to do. And to have your comments read out loud, Super Chats, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. So it is Thursday. And every Thursday is Bible Bumper Thursday.
The sign outside the New Era Baptist Church in Birmingham reads, "A black vote for Trump is mental illness."
I am the daughter of two pastors.
You will emerge from that as an atheist.
President Joe Biden is only the second Catholic president.
The Pope is like, if you don't... They call him the Holy Father. Ain't nothing holy about the Pope.
God, why? Why?
Holy mackerel. I can't believe you people follow a man. What this old world coming to? So for those who are listening for the first time, Bible Thumper Thursday is set aside so that we talk to people about everything on Thursday, but I'm going to call this from people who are into the Bible, and it's hard to communicate with them because they speak real fast and they don't listen, and they just quote the Bible. So we set aside Thursday to answer some of the questions the best that we can. We don't always succeed at it, but we give it a good try because I want to be fair with everybody. And so Bible Thumper Thursday is set aside for that, even though we deal with other issues as well. All right? And mentioning the Bible, I do want you to know that the Bible is a good book. It is an instruction map. It's a road map back to where you can look for the kingdom and find the kingdom of heaven right now while you live. The Bible is not about the future or the past. It tells you about what happened in the Old Testament before Christ came along and why he had to come along. And now that he's come and he's taken care of that, he give us a new testament, a new reality, one that you don't ever have to die. And then you don't have to wait. Because there are people who are waiting on the so-called end time. They're waiting for Jesus to come, and they think that he's gonna resurrect them. And somehow or another, I know how. Satan has shown them in their mind, you just pray and wait, and one day the Lord coming back, and he's gonna take you up in the sky. And they're waiting around for that to happen because they don't understand, and I understand why, but they don't understand that it's all done, it's completed. It is done, it is completed, and that you can live the kingdom of heaven on earth right now. It's done. You can be taken up at an instant from the darkness to the light. You can be taken up. And so they're waiting, and lo and behold for them, right? Because they're suffering unnecessarily. They're worshiping the devil by waiting instead of worshiping God by living it right now. And there are amazingly few people who have heard this, and they have started to seek the kingdom now. It's at hand, it's right here, it is now. And when you are born of the Father, when you are born of the Father, you are born of the now. You're not born of the past. You're not born of the future. You're born of the now because the Father is now. And there are men and women who have started to look within themselves, and they're going and forgiven, and they're finding the now, and they're blown away like, what was I waiting for? Why was I living in hell for so long? And it ain't easy because it's so identified with hell. Whenever you hear a religious Christian always talking about Jesus and always quote the Bible and always talking about being a Christian, well, they're telling you that they're living in hell. They're telling you, and that they are not at peace. They have no peace. Do you know a lot of Christians don't believe you can have perfect peace on earth? No, I don't have that. You can't have that. You got to wait till you get to heaven. They are worshiping the devil. Christ came that we may have peace. And have it now. You don't have to wait. Just think about that. You're gonna live a whole lifetime with fear and misery as a Christian, thinking that one day I'm gonna have peace. You're in for a surprise. Peace is at hand right now. There are Christians who believe that they're in control of their own lives, that they can change things, they can make things happen. Not let things happen, but they can make it happen. Isn't that amazing? That is amazing. And they are teaching the next generation and the next generation and the next generation the same lies. And the next generation and the next generation and the next generation are living in fear as well. They're living in all ego, thinking that someday, by and by and by, it's going to get better. And it's not. The devil have deceived the people. Yesterday we was talking about the teachers union, Chicago Teachers Union, whereas the woman, a black woman, she's black, that run the Chicago Teachers Union, she is against vouchers, school choice and all that, while at the same time sending her child to according to the report, to a private school. He black. But she's trying to encourage other people to keep their children in the public school, which is hell. Which is hell.
I see black people.
In the public school. It's hell. And then you have these fake mothers who pretend to love their children, and they don't. They just go to the board meetings, and they yell, and they carry on. And they're carrying on, trying to give the impression they're fighting against the board members and stuff like that, trying to give the impression that they love their children. On the outside, want you to think that, whereas inwardly they know they don't love their children. They just need the schools to be open because they need a daycare center. They need somewhere to send those children so they can go out and pretend to be a man. They gotta work. Ain't no fun in raising children. Nobody see me raising children. How am I going to get an ego thrill if you don't know I'm raising children? So I want to go out and work, they say. And so when they're arguing about these schools shutting down for the Chinese virus and now shutting down for that reason and this reason, and then they're cutting up body parts and all that kind of mess, these parents really and truly don't care. Be not deceived. It's the same thing as the Christian who pray in public. They go to church, they pray in public. They are on the sidewalk praying in public. It's all ego. It's the same thing as the people who go and feed the homeless. The Christians and the non-Christians alike. It's all ego. It's all for the thrill of it. That's why God said, don't be like these people. They get their glory now. And they get their glory because they feel good that somebody think that they're good. And they're out there feeding the hungry. Doing their missionary and all that mess. It's all ego, all for the thrill of it. So be not deceived about these so-called mothers who act like they love the children. They don't. Because if they love the children, the man's children that they have for him, they would be home raising the man's children, watching over them. They would be at home, and the fight about the public school thing would be over. And those parents who want to leave their children in the public school, let them stay there. Let them destroy their own children. They're not your children. Children don't belong to everybody. They only belong to the man and the woman who made them. And even then, they don't belong to them. They belong to God. You're just made to watch over them. They're not even yours. But it's definitely not our children. It's all a mess, right? It's just a mess. It's all about the ego. It's all about the thrill of it all the time. And put on your seatbelt, because it's only going to get worse. It cannot get better, because the hearts of human beings are not going to change. Some will, most will not. Some are, and most are not, because they love their wicked ways. They love pain. They love misery. They love fighting. They love arguing. They love this. It's all ego. Nobody's winning. It just feels good. Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way to go. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he's old, he will not depart from it. Ain't that deep? Train up a child in the way to go. Even when he's old, he will not depart from it. But how will you train up a child in the way to go when you can't see yourself? You're still in that old nature. You're still blind. If you notice, churches are not training children in the way to go because they're blind. They give them the scriptures. They take them to Sunday school. They teach them Sunday school lessons. But the child is still blind. Teaching is not the way to go. A limited example is the way to go. You teach them the Bible, then you go home and cuss them out, or the parents fighting. What good is the teaching? All in the name. You go home and you have fear, but you teach the Bible. You see these women teachers of the Bible, of the Word. They're so proud of themselves. It's all ego, but they're so proud. And they constantly remind you that they're Christians. Because they teach the Word. They have Bible classes. They have Sunday school classes for women. And the devil is busy. Poor children, most of them will suffer as children until they become of age and they start to seek the right way for themselves. John 3:1-4 says, I have no greater joy than to hear that my children are walking in the truth. Ask yourself, even if you don't say it out loud, ask yourself, am I really walking in the truth? Or am I walking into intellect, calling it the truth? Am I walking in fear, calling it natural? You will be surprised what you will find out if you were to keep your eyes on you. No matter what happening outside of you or around you or with other people, no matter what they're doing, what they're saying, if you were to keep your mind on you, your eyes on you, you have not seen overcoming. It doesn't even look like what you think it looked like. Stop arguing with people. Don't argue with the devil. Don't argue with the Christians, Bible-thumping Christians. You argue with the devil when you do that. They're just trying to prove that they're right. And the secular world, too. Stop the argument inside of yourself with the devil and outside of you inside of others. It's just devil arguing. Look at all the fights and the arguments that's going on now. Everywhere. Everybody want to be right. No one is willing to have a wait and see. Okay, you say I'm wrong? I'll see. Thank you for that. Let me see. I could be wrong. Or I could be right. If I'm right, I'm not going to try to prove to you I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I'm not going to try to prove to you that I'm wrong. How can you prove anything to the devil? The devil has already made up his mind. Remember when Christ was walking the earth and he ran into the hypocrites and the preachers and others, and they tried to make him prove things? He's like, no, you've already made up your mind. I'm not proving anything to you. What an amazing way to live. You don't owe them an explanation at all. And they act like you do. Have you noticed how the devil's children act like you owe them an explanation when they're in hell? Not even understand their own lives and but they just feel good putting the pressure on you so they'll feel good about being in hell. They have no love. What a mess! So the children don't have a chance right now. And you can see it for yourself if you doubt me, right? Anyone that has anger, anyone, I don't care how many Bibles you have or so-called intellectual knowledge you have when you went to school, second school, and you got all kinds of degrees, you're still dumb, you're still blind, and the kids don't have a chance because you have no love. Angry people do not have love. Satan is their daddy. And when a Christian tell you, well, Jesus was angry, you better run because you're dealing with evil spirits. Even when they tell you they have a will, I have a will. I can make myself do what I want. Okay, make yourself have perfect peace. Make yourself have perfect peace. Christ came that we may have peace. Why don't you have it if you have a will? Happiness is not peace. Happiness is ego filling. It comes and it goes where perfect peace is everlasting. So ask yourself. It's you. It's not about anyone else. Are you walking in truth? Not your made up intellectual truth. Not the truth that you read in the Bible is just intellectual. Are you walking in the truth? Are you walking in the light? Are you walking in darkness, calling it the light, the truth? Ephesians 6:1-4. As for children, obey your parents in the Lord, because it is right, and it is. Obey your parents in the Lord because it's right. Honor your father and mother so that things will go well for you and you will live for a long time in the land. It's good for you to obey your parents, to love your parents. And things will go well for you. Not for the parents, but for you. And you will live long in the land. As for parents, don't provoke your children to anger. See there? This is why you go and forgive mama for provoking you to anger. or father for provoking you to anger. And when you forgive them, the Father God will forgive you, and it will be good for your life. And you will live a long time in the land. Because right now, all mothers are provoking their children to anger in one way or another. But raise them with discipline and instruction about the Lord. They're not setting a good example. All mothers are turning their children away from the fathers. The fathers are too weak to protect the children because the woman is still his God, and he's scared. And they're provoking their children to anger. This is why I tell you, go and forgive. I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry, Daddy, for resenting you. I realize you couldn't help it. And that's what it means to honor your parents. Don't resent them. Because anger, don't be angry at them. Anger is evil, and it will destroy your life. You don't have to live the way your parents did. And do. Forgive them, and you can go free. And if they're accepted, fine. Fine. And if they don't, fine. You'll go free. But you must forgive them. Honor them, meaning don't resent them. They're doing the best they can. Satan is their God. They don't know it. They can't help it, right? It doesn't mean you got to take care of them. You got to live at home until you're 90. You know, mama going to follow you to West Hell and destroy you. You let them come live with you. It doesn't mean that at all. But when you let go of the anger, if you want to do that, you'll do it without feeling guilt or obligated or anything. It'll be something that you want to do. And you can take it or leave it. And as far as this educational system, it's evil. You don't want your kids in these schools anyway. It's better to homeschool them. Watch this from TikTok.
More parts of my middle school classroom. And then right across the wall from there, we have my other flag. Probably my most popular flag is my Progress Pride flag. I get a lot of comments on this because it's always in the background of my videos. We love some Progress Pride flag. We have to show our Pride babies some love, so we love this flag.
One of my coworkers told me that they were talking to some students in the hallway, and the students asked the other teacher if I'm a boy or a girl. And the teacher was like, does it matter? You know, she's cool. And they were like, no, I just can't figure it out. It's just so hard, I can't figure it out. I was just like, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Wow. See how evil those people are? And the mothers don't care about that. They're still going to send their children to school because they don't want to stay home and watch over their children. What the? And you have a teacher, you don't know if it's a boy or girl teacher, a male or a female. Can you imagine being a kid sitting in a classroom looking at this person in front of the room and you don't know what it is? And they're not trying to teach you reading and writing and arithmetic. They're trying to make you figure out what they are. And the parents send them to school. Not homeschool. All they want to do is get them out of the house. And they'll blame the teacher and everyone else for what happens to them. They will not blame themselves. Parents, you are responsible for your children, no one else. 888-77-53773. Quick break. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. Okay, welcome back. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. It's Bible Thumper Thursday. There's a line open at 888-7753-773. Quick reminder, at 9 a.m. this morning, the Hake, H-A-K-E, report.com. From 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time, the Hake Report. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon. On Friday, tomorrow, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. Brand new. We're taping some episodes today, by the way, after this show. What, the 3 more hours? I have to do 3 hours of taping. Not bragging, but I'm just saying. He be like, my guest for this week on the episode of the Fallen State was Amy Ichikawa. It was an amazing conversation. Unexpected, could not have planned it. Amazing conversation. And I really wish her well. She is a former inmate. Ooh. A jailbird. A former inmate. And executive director and founder of Woman to Woman, a nonprofit organization of previously incarcerated women, providing resources, education, and support services for system-impacted women. Long, but that's what it means. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Were you in prison or jail?
I went to prison. So it was kidnapping for ransom.
What the?
It was not amazing. My first offer was 25 to life.
Did you cry a lot?
For the first 2 years, I think I just cried.
Did you eventually become a badass?
No, but I did learn the inner workings. I didn't care about myself. I think it was a great partnership between myself and my demons. Thoughts that get in your head, and that's all it takes.
Which is either being in prison for 5 years or facing your mother?
My mother, most definitely.
Amazing. This show is, and watch your thoughts when I say this, right? Because the thoughts will make it less or more to disappoint you. But this conversation I had with Amy, you can't even imagine. You won't be disappointed. All right, at 12 noon tomorrow, Friday. And don't forget to support the Fallen State by going to the Fallen State and locals. All right? Amazing. Amazing, amazing. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Trey out of Maryland. Trey, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Jesse. Can you hear me well?
Speak up a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Perfect. Hey, so it's not really a Bible puzzle question, but it's more of like kind of along the line. So today's times, I hear a lot of people saying that I am spiritual, but I'm not religious, especially a lot of women. What does that mean to you? Because I have a thought behind it, so I'm going to hear what you say.
Trey, hold on for a minute. It's not clear, your phone now. And don't hang up, though. Sean going to work with you on that, and I'll come back to you. Let me go to Josh out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. How's it going?
All is well, Josh. Thanks for calling.
All right. I was calling to answer that biblical question.
Do you know any unfortunate or disadvantaged people?
No. I don't.
And why do you say no?
It's like I don't know what true unfortune or disadvantage is. I think it's an illusion to like see people what looks like on the outside looks like they're unfortunate or disadvantaged. That's just what's in the physical, you know. But like kind of like that story about the thief on the cross next to Jesus, the guy that lived a life of crime and evil. And then at the last minute, right before he died, he finally saw clearly and, saw the truth and admitted he was wrong. So it's like, that's I guess the bottom line is I don't know who is truly unfortunate and who is truly, disadvantaged.
And what is unfortunate and disadvantaged? What is that? I mean, what do you?
Right, that's the thing. That's the whole issue. I don't know what that is because
But did you think that you knew before it became a biblical question?
You know, I think I kind of go in and out. You know, I look at somebody who's like that person you just played on the, or you were just talking about that teacher who is transgender, who doesn't know whether they're a girl or a boy, and they're teaching that to the kids. That looks like this confused person, you know. So, but I don't know if that's truly. I don't know if that's like what happened to that person that put them in that position. So I don't know if only God can know that, I believe.
Before it became a biblical question, was there ever a time when you thought you knew what a disadvantaged or unfortunate person was?
Yes.
And what did you think it was then?
Homeless, retarded people, or crazy people, Jeffrey Dahmer.
And why have you changed your mind about those things, those people as unfortunate or disadvantaged?
Because I see it's all an illusion. It's a game being played on us by, the demon in me wants me to think a certain way and look at the physical and define it that way, but that's an illusion.
And so right now you're still not sure if you know unfortunate or disadvantaged people?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yes,
well, I appreciate that, Josh. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
888-775-3773. Let me go back to Trey. They're telling me that he's ready now. Hey, Trey. Let's try it again.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Go ahead, yes.
Great. Well, actually, I did want to answer that question I just heard. Do I know any unfortunate or disadvantaged
Oh, I thought you
people?
called about something else.
Well, I got a couple things on my mind. So I'm going to just...
Which one you want to go to? The one you started to ask about, or you want to do the biblical question?
Can I do both? I promise to be quick.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So, biblical question, yes, I do.
Do you know any unfortunate or disadvantaged people?
Yes.
And why do you say yes?
I think it's because of the parents.
And how they disadvantaged or unfortunate?
Well, the parents, if they weren't ready to have a child, then they brought a child into the world, and they put that child in a predicament or a situation.
What situation? What situation is that?
For example, it's like parents don't really have the money or funds, and they have the child.
They don't have the money to what?
To raise a child, or they're not ready, and they have a child.
So, some parents are not ready to have a child,
and then they have it anyway.
And you say they don't have the funds to do it, the money.
Mm-hmm. And they have a child.
And they have a child anyway. And how would that make that child unfortunate or disadvantaged?
I would say either you can't financially support the child, or you're not mentally ready for the child.
And how would that make the child unfortunate? So who would be unfortunate, the parents or the child, the children?
The child.
In what way?
Where they're provided, or they're given parents who just aren't mentally stable or financially supportive.
Right, Trey, hold on, buddy. Don't hang up. I'm still having a time. It's like you in a corner, and you're not speaking up for some reason, not from the chest. Don't hang up, though. I'll come back to you. Let me go to a first-time caller out of Houston. Kia out of Houston, Texas. Kia, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you so much. How are you?
All is well. Speak up for me, Kia.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, well, first let me just say that I do hear you, and I do understand that a lot of mothers do turn their children against the fathers when some of us or them don't know the real story behind why they leave. But I do wanted to know if you do believe that there are some men who just abandon their children, who just, like the woman, try all she can to keep them there and to help them, raise the family, but he still just doesn't want a part of it.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to know if you believe that, because if not, I was going to ask you to, kind of enlighten me on that. So.
Yeah, there are some men they're just into the sex of it, and they don't care about the woman, they don't care about the children, and the children just become a consequence of the sex thing. They never wanted kids or never planned to take care of kids. It was just about the sex. And they get stuck like that. When I say they get stuck, they get in that situation, and they abandon it because that's not what they want. And that's evil, too.
Yes. Thank you so much. You're so real and so direct, and I'm just so happy that I stumbled across your show. I really am.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Of course. I forgive both of them. I forgive everyone.
You went and forgave
They're not going to have
mother?
that power over me.
That's right. You went and forgave her?
I forgive everyone.
You went and forgave your mother?
I did, yes.
And what did you say to her?
When asking for forgiveness, or?
When you went to your mother, what did you say to her?
Just Actually, I like direct and realness also. So just asking her to be real with me and to just, be open and honest and just tell me, although that's pretty hard, but just knowing what I know, even hearing stories from other people and things like that, I know the truth. I know what she tries to tell me, and I know the truth behind it.
When you went and forgave your mother, what did you say to her?
One day she actually asked for forgiveness. So I told her, of course. And I did tell her all the good things that she has done, that she still does, and how I appreciate her.
When you went and forgave your mother, what did you say to her?
that I forgive her.
So you haven't forgiven your mother.
What do you mean?
You go and, Mama, I'm sorry for resenting you, for screwing up my life, turning me away from my father, recreating me in your image. I'm just throwing out things. And I'm sorry for resenting you. Why haven't you done that? You're not supposed to ask for forgiveness.
Well, you're right.
And why haven't you done it? Why haven't you forgiven your mother?
I didn't think that way, but now that you said that, that is a way that I need to approach it.
Why did you think you're supposed to ask her for forgiveness? Where did you get that from?
Just because it's thrown that way, as if it's my fault that it did happen, that it, if it wasn't for this or if it wasn't for that, it wouldn't have happened. So. And
don't tiptoe around it. Don't say, oh, Mama, I forgive you, but you did some good things. Oh, Mama, I forgive you. I love you. Mama, I want to tell you, you're not mean it when you do that. Forgiveness is when you can see in yourself, within yourself, that I truly resent my mother. My mother made me angry. I can't stand her. When you see that,
so
I'm sorry?
No, that's true. I'm sorry. I was just agreeing with you.
And when you see that, that's evil. You're playing God. When you realize you can't help yourself, it will cause you to realize she can help herself. Then you will go and apologize for resenting her, judging her. You won't ask for forgiveness because God will forgive you, and you're admitting that you're wrong for resenting her. That's the sin of the heart, is to judge by being angry.
Wow, thank you.
And if your mother said, okay, I'm sorry, that's fine. If she doesn't, that's fine. If she start crying, that's fine. If she try to blame your father, that's fine. If she fall out and die, that's fine. You just go into the kitchen and look in that, you're like, oh, Mama dead, she dead. Go into the kitchen, look in that drawer right next to the silverware, get the insurance paper and go live your life.
No. No, but I will talk to her and tell her
you're going to be scared. You're going to shake in your boots because you're going to be afraid of the devil.
No, I'm not afraid to admit when I've done something or to admit when it's time for me to.
So you're not afraid to apologize to your mother for what she's done to you?
No, absolutely not.
And how about your father? Have you forgiven him for not protecting you from her?
No, I never went to him.
Why not?
I told him that I resented him. Again, I've never thought about it like this.
I understand.
Heard you.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, I recommend you do that. And then, are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
So do you do the hooping and hollering kind of praying and
No,
oh,
not that kind.
And when you pray, how do you pray?
I go secretly and I pray to God.
And what do you say to him?
It just depends when I come to him. And a lot of times I like to speak from the heart. Well, not a lot. I like to speak from my heart. So if I go in to where I speak with him, then I go in. And
speak up a little bit for me, a little louder.
When I go in to speak to him, I really get quiet and I like to speak from my heart.
And you say what? Give me an example of what you say to him, if you can think of something.
First, before I go to him, I ask him to to allow the Holy Spirit to come over me. Because, of course, if I come in and talk to him, it may be, I don't know, maybe something that has distorted me or distorted the way I'm thinking, you know?
Yeah.
So I always like to ask him to, give me that calm before I talk to him, because for me, he is like high. He's higher. So when I get in his presence, I that's my higher,
Have you ever, and continue to speak up, don't let your voice go back down. Have you ever wondered why he has never answered your prayers?
No. All of my prayers have been answered.
They have?
Yes.
Then why you still have fear?
That is something that I'm just worried. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know why I still have fear, knowing that even if it didn't happen at that moment, that it will happen. I just what some people describe me as an overthinker, and I don't know why I still have fear, because he always takes care of me.
And so if he's answering your prayers, what makes you think he's answering your prayers and you still have fear? Why do you think he's answering it?
The evidence. I see the evidence of my prayers being answered.
Do you believe that you can have perfect peace on earth?
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's how you get it. Go and forgive your mama and your father. Do the silent prayer and watch those thoughts. It's going to blow your mind, because all thoughts are all lies all the time, and about anything. All thoughts are from evil, except practical thought about what you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep. You need a house, you need a car, you need this, right? But other than that, all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. So if you want perfect peace, you got to overcome thoughts and feelings.
Yes, that I believe that. And you're making me think of the scripture when it says, every way to a man, like the way he thinks is right to him.
Right.
So you're right about my thoughts.
All thinking people think they're right. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why they fight one another, because thinking people think that their thoughts are right and they're all wrong.
And see, that's why I come to people like you, people who God blessed with boldness, people who God blessed with truth, and no matter what it seems to you or what you want to hear, I love coming to people like you. So that's why I can only come to people like you. I can't come to yes man people. I cannot do that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, because
but yes man people, I can go to myself.
Well, because you love the truth, you want the truth, you have it inside of you. Go and forgive and watch, and the truth will make you free in ways that you can never imagine. It's just going to be amazing. So do the silent.
I'm telling you, I'm already free thinking about it. Like thinking about what you just told me, I'm already free. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to do it.
Right on. Well, Kyle, I got to take a break. Let me know how it goes, all right?
Thank you.
Okay. Take care now. Bye. 888-775-3773. When I come back, your Super Chats. And we have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they will become it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
They caught that illegal alien murderer from Brazil is the news. I mean, that came out yesterday. And the auto employee communist unions are on strike against the commie capitalist bailed out corporations for the, American cars, so-called American. And Hurricane Lee is creeping toward New England. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Bible Thumper Thursday, September 14th, 2023 AD, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. Stay tuned for hour 2. Jesse Lee will be right back. But first, fake news, not fake news. There is one line open. You can call in to get on hold, to get on air with JLP, and he will get back to you. He will get to you. But first, fake news, not fake news. Ever heard of earthquake lights? Coming on Sense Network, CNN reports. Scientists are trying to unlock the mysteries of quote-unquote earthquake lights. The strange light phenomenon sometimes spotted in the sky before major earthquakes around the world, supposedly. I've never seen them, that I recall. Those outbursts of bright dancing lights have been captured on video for decades, they say, including a sighting just last week before a 6.8 magnitude earthquake in Morocco. You know, that one that killed a bunch, hundreds, maybe thousands. I forget how many died in Morocco. Anyway, that illegal alien murderer from Brazil was re-caught. The convicted murderer who escaped, according to Commie Nonsense Network, a Pennsylvania prison late last month, once again behind bars, now facing additional charges after nearly 2-week male hunt that captured. He's 5'2", 120 pounds. Illegal alien captured national attention and put the surrounding community on edge. Danilo, I think they spelled it wrong with an I. Danilo Cavalcante, age 34, was sleeping when police found him in the woods of South Coventry Township Wednesday morning, lying on top of a rifle he had stolen from a nearby resident days earlier. Police dog named Yoda was released on him, biting him and preventing him from using the rifle before police took him into custody. Wow. He's now being held in a Pennsylvania maximum security prison where he's to serve a life sentence for his previous murder conviction. Also been charged with felony escape. And NBC News reported yesterday that he was wanted in Brazil for a slaying, his home country for a slaying, meaning he allegedly killed somebody down there. Auto employee union strike. Production at several auto plants may come to a halt today if thousands of unionized workers agree to strike and walk out at GM, General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis, which is Dodge and other things, Jeep, I guess. Details of the plan, including which plants will be struck, will not be announced until before midnight Eastern, contract expiration tonight. There's never been a simultaneous strike against all 3 major U.S. automakers. Today make nearly half of all domestically assembled cars. Slowing or stopping the production of a few engine or transmission plants at each company could be as effective as stopping operations at a full strike at all plants, experts say, industry experts, because they need the engines, right? And Hurricane Lee in the Atlantic, creeping toward New England, where hurricane and tropical storm watches have been issued for much of the area's coastal residents, many of them anyway. Forecasts show that the storm could possibly make an impact, on portions of New England as early as Friday. That's the East Coast, by the way, northeast, I think, right? The storm's roughly northeast. I don't even know. The storm's center is expected to pass close to the region's southeast before barreling near or over Maine. Oh, yeah, that's northeast, right? And Atlantic Canada over the weekend as a larger and dangerous cyclone, according to the National Hurricane Center. Storm's now a Category 2 hurricane, Cat 2. Expected to weaken as it approaches, will still have a massive radius of damaging winds that will be significantly felt in New England and Canada's Atlantic provinces. Well, we wish you well, guys. Buckle up. Embrace yourselves, as Tony from California called it. That means brace yourselves. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
It's frustrating. I'm trying to listen to God. I got my own flesh and my pulling me here, my own desires, my family, my friends, all these things is distracting me from the truth, and it's difficult, especially when you're young, man. But if you can go through it, you'll come out like gold. If I can go through the fire, but it's difficult to wait because everybody in a hurry. Technology, it's fast, it's in a hurry. They're angry, they're frustrated. Everybody in a hurry. I don't know where they're going, but when they get there, oh, they're gonna be sorry. You're in a hurry to get there, to come up, to be this, to be that. And when you get there, you're gonna feel discouraged more than you did before you even started. Who you gonna inspire? Who you gonna tell somebody about the glory, the grace of God if you don't go through it? Get out of yourself. He said, be grateful with the little things. And wait, and I'll put you there. I just say, give me my portion for the day. They don't know about church because you can't go to church because it's a business. And all the church people, it's a clique, it's a club. And they done forgot about God, it's a business. I don't need them to figure me out. All I got to do is just be patient and do what was in my ability, my boundaries. I don't need to outstep my boundaries. I ain't got to prove nothing to you. I wanted to be a preacher when I was 6, but I didn't know the price I had to pay. Much wisdom, much grief, much sorrow. Ain't no other way you gonna get it. But if you can just go through the fire, you'll be like gold. What's my purpose? Why I'm here? What am I meant to do? But sometimes he can't tell us all at once. It might be too much. You see how they flee? Yeah. They want $1, want a quarter. He could have got everything that he needed if he just would have been patient, but it's okay.
Bible Thumper Thursday. Welcome to the show. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson, uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question for this week. The biblical question. Do you know any unfortunate or disadvantaged people? Do you know any unfortunate or disadvantaged people? I see people. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And you can, if you're busy and out and about, no matter what you're doing, who you are and where you are, anywhere in the world, we are heard around the world by everybody and their mama, and for the flat earthers, up and down the world by everybody and their mama. Whichever way you're traveling, if you're busy right now and can't watch the show live, you can podcast, but you could be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. Don't forget to follow us on Rumble. You gotta know how to rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Ring the bell, like, follow, telephone, telegraph, tell a woman. I do appreciate it. It's Thursday. It's the second hour of Thursday show. Every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday.
The sign outside the New Era Baptist Church in Birmingham reads, "A black vote for Trump is mental illness."
I am the daughter of 2 pastors.
You will emerge from that as an atheist.
President Joe Biden is only the second Catholic president.
The Pope is like, if you don't... They call him the Holy Father. Ain't nothing holy about the Pope.
God, why? Why George, God?
Holy mackerel. I can't believe you people follow a man. Amazing. 888-775-3773. So that opening there with that guy, the homeless guy talking to the driver of a car. What was that about, Nick?
Say your question again.
That opening that with that black man talking to somebody in a car with food in
I'd never seen that before.
Oh, what was that?
It looked like a homeless man or something.
What was that, Sean?
Spitting some truth.
Oh, that's a TikTok video? Did the driver buy that man some food? Oh.
What's his story?
Can you come and tell me his story if you can? Whatever you know about it. This is my producer I'm talking to in my headset. And then I get to your phone calls and super chats.
Not a ghost, not an apparition he's talking to.
Huh?
He's not talking to a ghost.
If you can you can hear.
Not necessarily. If you can you heard something.
You don't believe that if you can you can hear?
No, I don't necessarily believe that.
Watch it. When you ask somebody a question or make a statement, and they go, huh?
And
you say to them, you can you can hear, and then be quiet. Then they answer the question.
Sometimes.
Amazing.
But not always. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Nick.
Who is that? This is my producer, Sean, and one of the experts on JustLeePeterson.com. What was that with the black guy talking to the...
It was just a viral TikTok video. I'm not sure how it started or how they got the conversation going. I don't think they knew each other. You know, it was just a conversation that started up spontaneously.
And did that guy start speaking that way once he got the food or beforehand?
Now that you mention it, I assume...
Did he preach the word before or after the meal?
Yeah, I assume it was after.
Oh.
But he was talking about the other homeless people like he wasn't homeless.
Right.
You know, as if he wasn't homeless. I'm sure maybe he has been, you know.
Oh, so he wasn't homeless?
It didn't appear that way. That was a short section.
So you really don't know if he was homeless or not?
Well, that was a short section of the overall video. And in the overall video, he does say he does have a job.
Oh, he does.
I'm judging.
That?
Right.
Sorry. So that's what I'm asking because I don't want to assume anything.
Yeah.
And so I'm asking, and since I'm black and slow, so the guy had a job.
He suggests in the video that he does have a job. Yes.
How he suggests that?
Well, in the longer clip.
Oh, I got you.
Have to watch
okay. And he suggested. So was he begging for food then?
No.
Oh, he just happened to come out of the cafe at the same time the driver came up.
Right.
It appears.
And they happened to spontaneously start up a conversation about God and religion and all the stuff that he was talking about.
And what was your impression of it?
I thought it was straight fire, as the kids say.
And what do you mean?
Spitting.
Yeah, he just, I guess, I don't know. It surprised me that a lot of the things he said match with a lot of the things that we say. He talked about enduring, talked about being happy with the small, being gratified with the small things in life.
All right.
And about the churches and how they're businesses now, and there really is no true talk about God or.
Amazing.
Someone in the chat says Sean is the old Hake. When Hake was whiter, I guess.
When Hake first started out, he used to be white, a white man. Now you black.
Yep. I'll resist.
He become like what he hate.
Yep.
You resist?
Yep.
You won't become black?
No. I'll resist the blackness.
Black is beautiful.
Although I did just say straight facts, whatever, straight fire.
Yeah, everybody's a little black.
What the? Everybody a little black.
Yeah, because with the slang now, everyone speaks a little bit black, if you notice it.
So true. I can't tell you how many kids that I grew up with who say, you know, the coolest people, the people I looked up to growing up were all rappers. And, like, you know, those were the people we were supposed to look up to.
How they make you feel better in the ego?
Yeah. You know, they're popular. They're the popular kids.
You love the blacks.
Of course.
Oh, well, you won't ever become black then if you love them. You have to hate them in order to become
Right.
them. You become like what you hate.
Yep.
So you love the blacks?
I do.
Ooh.
When you love people, you tell them the truth.
So that way you don't become black.
Yep.
You're safe.
That's right.
Deep.
Amazing. All right, so that's what that first guy was all about. For the best, from what you can tell, and
yep,
I guess you saw the longer version.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
888-77. I hadn't seen that, folks. So I didn't understand, and I wanted to get some. Above all things, get an understanding. What can I understand from this situation? Right? Get an understanding. Let me go to Andrew. Been waiting a long time. Andrew, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing, Jesse?
All is well, Andrew.
Oh, man, talk to me, man. I would like to add to the question.
The biblical question?
Yeah, let's do a biblical question.
Do you know any unfortunate or disadvantaged people?
Well, listen, Jesse, I'm going to be honest with you, right? I was waiting a while on the phone, right?
Right.
And, you know, I saw your video that you guys posted yesterday about the Valley of the Shadow and Death.
Right.
And I spoke to you briefly for like 20 seconds, like last week, but then, but you guys had to go because I was just waiting forever. But what I wanted to tell you, this is really how the sons of the Father all communicate. And we're all literally in synchronicity if we're with the Father. Because last week I was going to actually tell you.
Are you referring to the biblical question right now?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
But okay, so I will say what in regards to unfortunate, right?
Let me ask: do you know any unfortunate or disadvantaged people?
You know, so when I study scripture, I go into the etymology of the word, and I'm on the 1611 King James Bible definition. And previously, I would have said, I don't know any unfortunate people, but unfortunate comes under the definition of evil. So
what's the etymology?
Etymology, or just you know, I just like to get the actual definition for the words, because you know, like I think when this was made, we interpreted the words a little bit differently, and so I'd always like to try to get a clear understanding of the actual words.
Oh, so when you read the Bible, you look up the definitions of the word?
If it's a word that that I do not have understanding of,
right?
But since I was on hold for so long, and since I know you have the mind of God, I just want to be as truthful in the information as possible. You understand what I mean?
And so when you look the word up, when you read the Bible, and then you get to a word that you don't understand, you look up the meaning of that word. And do you get understanding then?
Correct. Yeah, I do. If I'll go to the 1611, and if it doesn't make sense, then I'll actually go to BibleHub.com, and then they give you the Greek and Latin original words, and they give you the Hebrew, because you know all of this stuff was originally translated from the Hebrew language. So I really try to do my best.
And how do you get understanding from that? How can you get understanding by looking up the definition of a word?
Well, for me, I'm going to be very honest with you. You know, like I've already been through the valley, and so I've already had my second birth.
No, I'm asking you, how can you get the understanding by looking up the definition of a word? How do you get understanding from that? I'm not saying that you don't or you can't. I'm just wondering, how do you get understanding from looking up the definition of a word?
I think it's just a little bit more information, which is that's a great question. How can I get understanding from looking up a word?
Yeah.
How can I get understanding from looking up a word? Well, I didn't make the language, and so if there's a word which like let's just say the word cat. If you look up the word cat, it's going to be a tiny little paragraph which briefly gives you a little bit more clarity on what the word is supposed to represent.
Right.
So when I take this definition, I don't listen to the definition. I just allow the information that I've compiled to process a little bit more through my heart. So sometimes I just need a little bit more information. If that brings some type of clarity.
And from that, you get understanding?
I like to try to think so, yes.
And why?
Why? Because I think it's all code.
What's all code?
Everything. Everything, man. But I just
what do you mean by it? It's all code.
It's I just think that.
So are you
the Bible
saying
is a
that?
very beautiful book that
I just got a
designed
text
for
from a
us to grow our consciousness.
So what now?
I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
I truly believe that the Bible is for all of us to. Jesse, I'm going to be honest with you, man. If you come back, and if you've been blessed to come back and have understanding and remember, I believe that the Bible is very important for you to study because it will allow you to understand His story. And when you understand His story, you could try to be your very best version and fix anything that has previously been undone.
And how do you do? Let me just say this first. A friend of mine just texted me. He said that you are saying that you get, referring to you and how you look up words. He said that you're saying, so I can understand. He said that you're saying you get the understanding of the words, not understanding the Bible. Is that right?
No, I think no, I don't think that that's right. I think that there's so much false teaching, false doctrine, and just so much misinformation in the valley of shadow and death that it's very important to if you have an activated heart to sync up that heart with a mind of knowledge and wisdom to clearly understand as much as you can for whatever it is that you're studying, doing in this particular life, in this particular side of heaven.
But you can't get understanding that way at all. You would never get understanding from thinking about it.
Oh, interesting. You might be very right.
No,
100%
right.
Maybe I'm very blessed. I think maybe I'm very blessed to I think the Father has taken a liking to me then, if that is the case.
But you're never going to get understanding by looking up a word. You'll get intellectual knowledge of that word, and then Satan makes you think you have understanding from it. But understanding only comes from God and no other source. And you can't get understanding by looking up a word.
Oh no, I agree with that 100%. I agree with
But
that.
you just said you do get the etymology from it. And so if you
I
do
did say that.
understand
I
that,
did say
why
that.
do you look up words then? And I'm just
I
asking.
guess no. I think I think for me, upon my journey, it's very important for me to gain as much knowledge as possible. That way, I have an overstanding.
You have an what?
An overstanding.
What does that mean?
An overstanding is like kind of like the way the English language works. So, for example, since we're going so much into this right now, I said understanding, right? But everything about English, when you really have the mind of the Father, English is very double speak. Everything in the English language can be taken and perceived in a positive or negative light.
Let me just say that because I don't understand what you're talking about now, but I do want to tell you that you don't want to seek knowledge. You don't want to get as much knowledge as you can. You want to get wisdom, and when you seek knowledge, you're not going to find wisdom. You want understanding. You don't want knowledge, because people who have all this knowledge, they're dumb. They're emotional.
I agree.
They have fear. So why, if you agree to that, why are you seeking so much knowledge?
Because I only do this when it comes to the Bible and me studying Scripture.
But you're not even supposed to study and seek knowledge in the Bible either. All it does is feed the intellect.
Then maybe I should stop doing that a bit. I got to be honest with you. I agree with what you're saying completely.
You're supposed to overcome.
You're supposed to agree with.
You're supposed to overcome words, but in seeking all this knowledge, you succumb to words, and you'll be destroyed by words.
No, I 100% agree with you, Jesse.
Why do you agree with that?
Because everything you're saying is the truth. And I got to be honest with you, from you clearly saying what you said, I think the only reason why I do what I do when it comes to the studying is because, unfortunately, I have a wife and a family which is very religious, which is not like me, and because I don't think that they have connection with the Father at all.
You say you have a wife like that?
Yes.
And
yes.
So your wife told you to seek the word? Seek knowledge?
No. I do whatever the hell I want.
But I don't. You said that the reason you do that because you have a wife. How is that?
Oh well, it's because when we argue, Scripture gets thrown at me, and so I try to just have the armor of God and just try to have more wisdom of the book than she does, because the number one thing that people that live in fear, whenever any of their emotions are tested, the first thing all religious people do is throw the Bible at you.
And so your wife is a Bible thumper. She's throwing a lot of. It sounds like she's throwing a lot of Bible words on you, and so you're gathering all this Bible knowledge so you can throw it back on her.
Yeah, more or less.
That's insane.
Sorry. Hey, well, listen, man. This little interaction right here really checked me, man. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, because when you're doing that, all you have are two devils.
Fire with fire. No,
Two devils fighting. If you notice, the Christians who are into the Bible, they know the word. They're nutty as a fruitcake.
That's a fact. That's a 100%.
So why would you take that game on and fight your wife with that? That's not helping her, nor is it helping you.
That's a fact. That is a 100% fact. So, Jesse, my question is this. If I have a wife that is like this, which tests me, and you know how you say, like, when somebody is not of the Spirit, when you ask them a simple yes or no question like you do to every single person you interview, and since they have so much ego and just a delusion, they go on for 5 minutes rather than just giving you a simple yes or no. What can I do, my brother, to check my wife when she gets on some nonsense?
Nothing.
Nothing. Just
Nothing.
leave.
Let her suffer. You tell her that she got to overcome words and overcome anger and fear, and if she doesn't want to do it, just let her suffer until she's ready. It shouldn't affect you at all because you are your world, and don't resent her. Don't be angry. Don't try to prove anything. Don't argue with her. You argue with the devil.
This is a fact, man.
So cut it out.
Thank you, Jesse. I will. I'll take your advice. I really will.
Yeah. Because she's on an ego trip with the word, and when you're fighting back with her, you're on an ego trip with the word, and and the devil is celebrating. That's all.
Yep. That's a fact. That's a fact. Jesse, I got one more question. How for you? I got actually two. When did you did you go through your hell, and when did you meet the Father? At what age? And also, how is it possible for you to find fellowship with other men that know the Father? Do you feel that you manifest other people that know the Father very easily?
I don't have nothing to do with it at all. I'm just living my life.
I see.
And I'm letting life happen now, and whatever happens, I have nothing to do with it. So I don't even consider any of those things. I don't think about those things at all.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
I do.
Every morning, every night?
Yes, sir.
Stay with that, and then during the day, when you get into all those thoughts about your wife and about the Bible and all that, just come back to your body, bring your mind back to your body, and things will be worked out for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
And you can stop the etymology.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
All it's doing is hurting you. It's not helping.
Jesse, I want to thank you for the upload that you did last night. But one more thing I want to say is that I think we should just start calling people dead.
Well, no, you should.
Until they know the Father.
I know, but you should work on you first so you'll be able to see that.
I see. I do see.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I got to run. I appreciate you.
Yo, appreciate you too, brother. Be good.
All right, you too, man. Amazing. Jake is a first-time caller out of California. Jake, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jess. How you doing?
All is well, sir.
Very good. In the war of good and evil we're living in right now, it seems like it's all around us. People want to control your mind and tell you lies and tell you their version of the truth. And how do you make your way through day in, day out as you're just walking through the fire?
How do you make your way out day in, day? What now? Repeat that. I'm sorry. How do you do what? How do you do what now?
So it seems like everyone wants to try to control the mind and tell you their version of the truth.
Right.
So how do you make your way through life nowadays?
By overcoming the hell that's in you, overcoming the mind, the thoughts, and just simply let the light guide you. Just lead your life and take no thought about what's happening outside of you. Whatever others are doing, that's on them only. And if you didn't pay it any attention or take any thoughts to it at all, you'll be fine. All you need to do is work on the hell that's in you.
Okay.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I just found it yesterday. I'm going to start doing that more.
Yeah, do it. Have you heard me say go and forgive your mother?
Yeah.
Have you done that?
I think so.
You went and told her. You went and told I'm sorry for resenting you? Hold on, buddy. Hold on. And that yesterday, check out the. I totally disagree back
with
in a
the way
moment. Things are going, but you can't be angry. because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Welcome back. 888-775-3773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. So Andrew, the last caller, mentioned the video from Bond channel called Face the Valley of the Shadow of Death. Fear. He saw it last night, so check it out on the Bond channel there. All right. We have the best counseling service on this side of heaven. By phone, Skype, or walk-in. I do it myself. You can make an appointment by going to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663 to set up an appointment, all right? And for personalized shout-outs, I do those as well. Go to Cameo for birthday shout-outs, anniversary shout-outs, weddings, encouragement, whatever it is. Go to cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. I want to go back to Jake, our first-time call out of California. And Jake want to know, how do you go through life with all this brainwashing and everybody acting out and carrying on? Whatever. Jake, have you gone and forgiven your mother?
I gave her like a half forgiveness, I think. I have to tell her that I forgive her.
So, Jake, have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Not yet.
And why not?
I have a lot of things on my mind. I never put that on top of my mind. And she's a Bible thumper, so it's gonna be a conversation for sure.
And how do you know that?
Because she doesn't talk. She doesn't open up. Whenever I try to bring up things to move forward, it's always okay.
And do you need her to talk in order for you to forgive her for what she's done to you?
No.
So why are you worried about the conversation then? Why are you taking thought to that?
I have a lot of thoughts in my mind, I guess.
Yeah. You have the mindset of your mother right now. That's how women think. They have a lot on their mind. And they think the answer is in their mind, in thought, right, and emotions. Mm-hmm. But when you go and apologize for resenting her for recreating her image, God will forgive you. Don't ask for forgiveness. Hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you for screwing up my life. I realize you couldn't help yourself. You got your own problems. You're doing the best you can. So I'm sorry for hating you. And don't argue with her. Don't try to prove anything. Just say, I'm sorry for resenting you. And God will forgive you. And he will renew your mind. He will take the anger away from your heart. And he will renew your mind and give you back his mindset, which is a clear mind. And take away the busy mind, which is of the devil. And that's what your mother has. And you will become yourself and you'll be fine.
Okay.
And then the world can't touch you because you'll be in the world, but not of it. And the world can't touch you. They'll try to, but they won't be able to touch you at all because you will understand what is driving them. They're angry and they're trying to get life from you so they can feel better, feel like they're alive, but they're really dying. So you won't take it personally. You'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, I saw this verse the other day. I'm not sure the exact way it was called, but it said that you think they hate you, they hated me long before they hated you.
Yeah,
and that resonated with me.
Angry people hate the light. They hate the truth. And they will see that in you, and they will hate it, and they will go after you, and they will build armies against you, but it won't bother you because you have the real army inside of you. You have the truth.
And let go of the ego that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you forgiven your father for not protecting you from your mother?
When I wanted to have a talk with him after not talking for a while, he had passed away that week, so I never got a chance to before that.
That's amazing, man. May his soul rest in peace. Well, make sure, just understand the exact way you feel, the fear you have, all those thoughts you're having, the inability to deal with women in the right way because you haven't overcome your mama. Your father had the same issues, and he loved you. It's just that he couldn't deal with your mother.
That's true.
So
thank you.
Do the silent prayer. How old are you?
37.
Do the silent prayer so God can bring you out of those thoughts and let life happen. It will happen. And if someone makes you feel something, angry or feel good, just know that that's not you. It's all ego, and let it pass. Be glad that they made you feel that way so you can see what's inside of you, because it's not their fault that you feel that way. It was already in you before they met you. Like everybody already have their hell in them before they meet anybody else, but they blame others, not realize it came from the mothers. But if someone makes you feel something, be glad to see that. Don't get mad. Don't blame them. And the light of God would get rid of that feeling because it's evil.
I have a son on the way to be born next month. Wouldn't it be a good time to tell him that he needs to forgive his mother so he can live a...
Are you married?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Don't worry about that. Don't think about the future. Right now, you just work on you so you can overcome the darkness, and you would be the light of the world, and your son will see the light in the Father, and he will follow you. You wouldn't have to tell him that. He would know.
All right.
But if you don't keep an eye on him, because does your wife have anger?
What's that?
Does your wife have anger?
No.
Your wife don't have anger?
I mean, I don't think so.
And why you don't think so?
Well, she's a little. I mean, she's human. She has emotions, so I guess she has all those feelings.
I'm sorry?
She's human, as far as I can tell. So I guess she has all those emotions.
What do you mean, boy? I can tell, and she might be human. Why do you think she doesn't have anger, though?
Because she's always in a good mood. She's always trying to make sense of everything. rather than process things with her emotions.
Does she obey you?
Yes.
Your wife obey you?
Mm-hmm.
And so how did you, so when you say she has emotion, what do you mean?
Well, she gets happy. She gets sad. Sometimes she gets frustrated.
Well, she does have anger. What the? All that stuff is anger.
Oh, I gotta tell her now.
Happiness.
We both watch your show, so.
Happiness is anger. Frustration is anger. Emotions are anger. Up and down is anger, which is evil. And so
let her know when I get home then, huh?
Has she gone and forgiven her mother?
I don't know.
Oh, man. If she got all those emotions, she's angry. I would recommend, and you said she watched the show, tell her to go and forgive her mother. And don't ask for forgiveness. I'm sorry for resenting you. She said, when she sees she's wrong for doing it. And God will forgive her. Otherwise, she's going to destroy your child.
Mm-hmm.
While you're at work, she'll be at home destroying your child.
Oh, Lord.
But if you want to overcome that, she can too by forgiving in the same way you have to do with your parents. So do the silent... What?
When you forgive your mother, and you don't word it in a way that's not a question, it's that I forgive you.
Right.
How often are people confused by that because they think it should be formed like a question? They're being told that they're being forgiven. How does that process?
When they say that to you, they're saying that because they don't want to admit that they're wrong. So you let that stay on them. Let them pretend that they're confused. Let them pretend that they are hurt. Let them pretend that they don't understand. You forgive, and then you go live your life. And let them stay in their hell. You don't have to explain, I'm sorry for resenting you. They don't need an explanation for that. You apologize for being wrong because you see you're wrong for hating. And you don't owe them an explanation with that.
Okay.
That make sense?
Thank you, man. Yeah.
All right. Work on yourself, man. It's going to be amazing.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Do the silent prayer, all right?
I will.
All right, Jake. Amazing. Super chat. Super. There is one line open, by the way, while Hake is coming in at 888-7753-773. Let's do some super chats, and then I get back to the calls.
Yeah, lots left over from yesterday as well as some today.
Oh, okay.
Someone bought you 3 coffees yesterday saying, it's nice to give where it's deserved and needed, where I received help and am grateful. Also, the not me was like, give them $1,000. Bah! That would be nice, though.
Thank you. Yeah, support us because, what's the name? Don't like us right now on YouTube, so you can't do it there. Go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or rebuildingtheman.com, right? Hey.
Right. Rebuildingtheman.com/church. No, /donate. My bag.
/donate.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And folks, give back. I shouldn't have to remind you of that. That's why I don't do it a lot. Because common sense said, well, if I'm getting help, I got to help him help others. But thank you for that.
All right. And then also on Buy Me a Coffee, Mary bought you 3 coffees yesterday asking,
hey, Mary,
is it normal for a female not to desire sex anymore once you're born again? And how can I help my husband become alpha male because mine is a beta? I just stay quiet most of the time like a good woman should. I've been married a long time and I've changed so much since I've been born again. My desires are not of earthly things. Well, she calls it early things, but I'm assuming it's earthly. I thought I was mean or heartless when I didn't feel any grief or someone losing their loved ones and not being so affectionate and don't feel a lot of passion to things everyone else feels. I agree 99.999% of the things you say. You're too funny. Can't stop listening. I'm always listening to you. Thank you. And I found you through another Christian YouTuber. Love the church on Sunday. I wish I could sit in one day. God bless you, Jesse.
Amazing. You're welcome to sit in anytime. if you overcome it, women are not that into sex anyway. They would do it. Why do you think these young women walk around half naked with a little tight, nothing on? Because they are using sex as a sex dealer. Because they know that men are sex addicts, like a drug, like the drug lords from Mexico are doing right now with the opioid. They are drug dealers. And so women are sex dealers because they're getting the men high and they got control over them, right? Just like the drug lords do with drugs. And so just tell your husband, you know what? I'm not into that now. We had all the children we're going to have. And you can't make him right, though. Don't even try. You just be the light. Don't resent him for his weakness. He cannot see. He cannot see. Don't be angry. Just be the light and wish him well, and you just live your life, and the light will guide you. Stay with the prayer if you're doing it. If not, do the silent prayer and watch. But you can't change him at all. Don't judge him. Don't be angry about it. You can see that he's a beta, but understand he's a beta because he can't see. Like you used to be a beta rat, when you couldn't see. So just don't judge him. And I'm telling you, your life would just unfold. It would be amazing. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
Henry Ford Lives donated a diamond yesterday during Ralph's interview in the third hour. It's a Gunt world order now. Fall in line, guy. Well, he spells it G0Y, and I may be mispronouncing it. Nice. Thanks, man.
The whole world is insane. The whole world is insane. Sometimes I see homeless people walking up down the road, and they be talking to themselves. Or if I go to a hospital to visit a sick person, and I see crazy people in the hospital talking to themselves, I think now everybody crazy just like that. They're just some people in an insane asylum. The building is called insane asylum. But they're lost in their head. They're in an insane asylum in their imagination. All human beings are like that until they overcome thoughts, until they overcome their imagination and they stay in the present. It's a mad, mad world, but your world can be sane and clear because you are your world. And whatever you want in your world, that's what it would be. It's up to you. Amazing. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Also on D Live. Well, thank you for the top contributors yesterday. Fat Black Lesbians, Pot Leaf, and of course, Uber Mind. Appreciate you guys. And of course, Kid Combo 1 in Noah's Ark, Kansas. Thank you guys.
What's an Uber Mind?
Like the Super Mind.
Oh, nice.
Pretty sure. Ueber Mind. Ueber Mind.
Oh.
Anyway. Kev bought you a coffee early this morning, or yes?
Buy me a coffee.com/JLP talk.
Or late last night saying, Jesse, I know you live by not identifying with any title or position or any emotion as well, but out of all you do, what brings you joy, the most joy? Also, the dad jokes segment, to see who laughs first, was hilarious. It's all about the delivery and the jokes. LOL, lots of laughs.
And that was Sean put together once?
I guess so.
That was funny. Sean, you said we're going to do that on Friday, too.
Nice.
My producer. Nothing brings me joy now because I have peace. And so I'm pretty much the same, thank God. I'm pretty much the same always now. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I don't think about tomorrow, but I have peace, so I don't rely on the joy thing anymore. And yet I enjoy life. It's amazing how that is. Thank you.
Kev Fisher continues with his coffee. I wonder what Hake is thinking when you bust out with a song. His pauses to wait for you to finish are funny. LOL, lots of laughs. Love y'all. Hashtag thanks for being a light.
I got joy and I've got love. I've got love and I got joy. But most of all, I have the Holy Ghost. Oh, thank you, Lord. What are you thinking when I burst out in song?
That I don't want to interrupt.
Oh,
because
yeah.
if I jump in, then it ruins the moment.
But you look like you were wishing, Lord. Why did I say that? I got joy.
You're all up in Hake's camera when you lean over like that.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he blocks
me. What the?
You lift up your hands, it goes in my face.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. What the?
Anyway.
And so he wanted to know, what are you thinking when I burst out in song?
Oh, he wonders what Hake is thinking. I'm waiting for it to be over. I don't want to smile too much because I'm not enjoying it all that much. Sometimes it's all right.
What the? Thank you.
Thank you to Being Enlightened Till I Rise and Canadian David, both Rumble members, monthly supporters on Rumble. That's cool.
Thank you. You got to know how to rumble.com/JLP. No, rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson.
Yep. Justin Childers bought you a coffee. Thanks for keeping it clean, Jesse. There's other shows that talk about things I like, but they use the F-bomb all the time. You don't want to listen to that. JLP show keeps it clean. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Or lady. Thank you.
Justin. It's a man.
Thank
pretty
you,
sure.
Justin.
Someone bought you 3 coffees. As I work the silent prayer and try to remain aware through the day, I notice I am almost looking forward to something negative happening because then I know what to do. I can be still, relax in it, allow God to take it away. And then when this thing happens, I believe my faith is growing stronger. Do you agree that this is what Paul was referring to in Corinthians when he says, "This is why for Christ's sake I delight in weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong."
That's deep and absolutely 100%. All you have to do is watch. Do the silent prayer and watch what's going on inside of you. And that thing does not want you to see it. It doesn't want you to watch. It trembles when you watch what's happening, the little fears and shocks and worries and doubts and all that. It trembles when you can see it. So just watch it. Absolutely.
Raul G. bought 10 coffees. If a man loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that's in the world, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life, is not of the Father, it's of the world.
Yeah.
The world and its desires pass away, but he who does God's will is going to live forever. 1 John chapter 2.
Amen. Amazing. Thank you. We got to take a break. When I come back, more phone calls, and we'll finish the super chats and the others. Hake is coming in with the hate news. Hake news, not the fake news. And I'll be back in a moment. 1 more hour to go, a Bible Thumper Thursday. And I'm going to get to all of your calls and super chats and more news item, I think. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
Aaron Rodgers' season-ending Achilles tendon tear is highlighting the controversy about artificial turf. Grass is better. Am I right? Or am I right? And car insurance is increasing like heck. So is inflation. It's still up, right? I think. And Sleepy Joe's trolling and lying about his upcoming impeachment inquiry or whatever is going on with him, saying they just want to shut down the government. And DACA is unconstitutional again or unlawful again. Nice. Based judge ruled it unlawful. Obama's DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. You know, those illegal alien dreamers? Psh. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Bible Thumper Thursday, September 14th, 2023 AD. JLP will be right back to your calls. There is one line open. You can call in. JLP will get to you. But first, Hake News, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, right after thehakereport.com. Live Monday through Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. That is, 11 to 1 Central, noon to 2 Eastern. Nice. And then, of course, American Anchor Baby. Yesterday we had Wow Hassan with a couple of guests. That was kind of interesting, right? And, of course, Joel Friday TV on Tuesdays. American Anchor Baby, Monday through Thursday at noon Pacific, and then on Fridays, 4 p.m., Nick Stream. Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports, criticism is raining down on NFL officials in an ongoing debate about playing on artificial turf rather than on grass. And Aaron Rodgers' foot got stuck, supposedly, when he got tackled, sacked by some guy. Was it black on white crime? Just playing around. So I don't know what's going on with that. Car insurance is increased 19% over the last year, according to the Consumer Price Index report released on Wednesday. That's the biggest annual increase since 1976. Inflation is up. The so-called Labor Department, which should be dismantled, probably, in the federal government of America, announced consumer prices in August were up 3.7% from the same time last year. Experts said that rising gas prices are to blame. Last big data set to be released before the Federal Reserve meets again next week. And Sleepy Joe lying and trolling us. He thinks he's a slick, shameless liar snake like Obama, and he is. Quote, best I can tell, they want to impeach me because they want to shut down the government. That's its so-called President Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe said, making his first public comments Wednesday since the House Speaker, in name only, Rhino Kevin McCarthy of California announced plans to open an impeachment inquiry into the so-called president. The Biden administration has labeled it an illegitimate endeavor, emphasizing the lack of any evidence so far of wrongdoing. The possible impeachment investigation comes as Congress faces a September 30th deadline to keep the government open. Shut it down! Shut it down! And as McCarthy faces deep divisions within his own party on how to handle the matter, a federal judge Wednesday declared the Obama-era DACA program, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. You know, they supposedly came as minors. Unlawful, sparking swift condemnation from so-called immigrant advocates, meaning illegal alien supporters, because immigration is legal, lawful. And the White House, black on the inside White House, quote, we are committed to protecting all the dreamers who have throughout their lives enriched our communities and our country. So said black on the inside White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, the lesbian, black, said after the ruling, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, DACA, was created in 2012 by Obama, and it was unconstitutional, and he knew it back then, but they let it happen. To provide a temporary reprieve for undocumented, they're not undocumented, they're fraudulently documented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children, so-called children. A group often described as dreamers, they're like my age now. Well, anyway. And allow them to live and work in the United States. An existing rule is currently blocking the government from approving new applications for the program. DHS, Department of Homeland so-called Security, will continue to process renewals for current DACA recipients. What a shame. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
to stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53-773. That's 888-77-53-773. And my biblical question for this week. My biblical question. Do you know any unfortunate or disadvantaged people? Do you know any unfortunate or disadvantaged people? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about doing what you're doing anywhere in the world, you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us, JLP Talk, on X. JLP Talk on X. And used to be Twitter. And Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe, and all that. All right? So it is Thursday, the last hour of the show this Thursday. It is Bible Thumper Thursday.
The sign outside the New Era Baptist Church in Birmingham reads, "A black vote for Trump is mental illness."
I am the daughter of two pastors.
You will emerge from that as an atheist.
President Joe Biden is only the second Catholic president.
The Pope is like, if you don't... They call him the Holy Father. Ain't nothing holy about the Pope.
God, why? Why George, God?
Holy mackerel. I can't believe you people follow a man. You should have no other God but the true God if you want peace. It's Bible Thumper Thursday, folks. Oh, one quick thing. It's been reported that they caught that illegal alien that was on the run there in Philly, I believe in Philadelphia. He escaped from the prison thing by climbing the wall, and they say he's from Brazil, I believe. They finally caught him. But what was interesting about it for me is that they brought out the FBI, the CIA, maybe not Philly city proper. Oh, the state of Pennsylvania. That's where he was. Thank you. They brought out the FBI, the CIA, the DDA, and everybody. And even brought out the military to go after one illegal alien. The military, think about that. But they won't bring out anybody to stop the border overflow. Why don't they bring out all those people and put them on the border until they can build a wall if they really cared? Because you got illegal aliens coming in every day by the numbers, thousands, and criminals are constantly coming in. They continue to flow. So if they can go use the military and everybody and their mama to go after one man Why can't they use those same people, put them on the border to stop these people from coming in? And then you see it all on CNN and everywhere. They got them. They use the military and the dog. Put the dogs on the border. Who let the dogs out? And CNN all reported about one guy that they got. No report about all these illegal aliens coming into our country. And then they won't tell you that, why don't they put these people on the border and stop the flow? Then we won't have criminals going to the jails and then getting out. Sending all our money over to Ukraine. Why? Remember when the Great White Hope, he only asked for what, like 4 or 5 billion, 5 billion, I think, to build the wall? They gave him hell. He had to come up with other ways to get the money to start building the wall. But Ukraine, like, y'all send us some more money. We need some more money. Lord, this wall is just so hard. And the people are suffering. And we just need more money. We need more money. They send it over there freely, but nothing for the citizens of this country. 888-7. I'm just saying, I was thinking out loud. Let me go to Virginia and talk to, who was that? Oh, okay. He gone. Let me go. There's a line open, 888-7753-773. Let me talk to Victor, a first-time caller out of California. Victor, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse.
Hey, Victor.
I just want to call in and say that even though I'm an atheist, I really enjoy your show, and I really think you're entertaining, and I love listening to you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And why are you atheist?
Oh, I just don't believe in any religion, I guess.
And what does that have to do with God?
Well, I don't think there is a God.
And why not?
I just don't see any evidence for it or anything.
What kind of evidence you need to see?
I don't know. Any kind of evidence.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh, okay. And what kind of evidence you need to see before you believe that there is a God?
That's a tough question. Like, what type of, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Some sort of, like, proof of any kind.
Some kind of what?
Evidence or proof.
Like what?
Like, for example, if God appeared or something, I don't know. It's a very tough question. I think it's a dumb question, honestly.
And so it's a dumb question to ask you what type of proof you need to see before you can believe?
I mean, what type of
evidence?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, what. I mean, you think the Bible is evidence, right?
I'm sorry?
You're a Christian, right? So for you, you think the Bible is evidence of God? Is that it? Just the Bible?
No, the Bible is not evidence of God.
So what's evidence of God for you?
The light.
The light?
Yeah.
Like the sun, or what?
The ability to see clearly from within.
And that's evidence for God.
I'm sorry?
Is that not just you being, what do you mean, light from within?
The ability to see clearly without limiting thoughts in the darkness of imagination, but to have a clear mind.
Life, that would be evidence for God.
Life itself is God.
Yeah, I can see that.
So you have evidence there?
No, I don't.
You have life?
Yes, I do.
And where did that life come from?
As far as science knows, we don't know where it came from. I mean, some people say the Big Bang created everything.
But I'm asking, are you a scientist?
No, I'm not.
No, I'm asking you, where did your life come from?
Oh, I guess my parents.
And where did their life come from?
Their parents.
And who gave them life?
Evolution.
Who?
Evolution.
Who is Eveline?
Evolution.
Who is that?
I'm saying evolution.
Who is that?
Like evolution.
Yeah. Who is that?
That's not no. Can you not hear me? It's hello.
Yeah, I'm listening.
It's not a person. It's like so there's creationists and there's people who believe in evolution.
Have you ever met God?
I have not met God.
Have you ever met evolution?
Evolution is not a person. It's a
And
concept.
God is not a person either. Have you ever met evolution?
No, I have not.
So why you believe evolution but not God? You never met evolution.
Well, for evolution, there's evidence of that.
And what is evidence?
Scientific evidence. Well, the scientists, and according to science, evolution is like the leading scientific idea, I think. I'm not a scientist, but I believe them.
But why? And you never met evolution, though, but you believe in science. Why did you choose to believe them about the science, but you refuse to believe the Christians about God?
Because they provided evidence. There's.
Have you ever seen a Big Bang happen?
I have not seen the Big Bang happen.
Have they ever shown you a Big Bang, a picture of a Big Bang, and after it happened, a human being came from it?
Well, there's evidence for the Big Bang, right?
Have you ever seen a picture of a Big Bang or a movie of a Big Bang and a human being came from it?
Well, it's not that simple because that takes billions of years to happen, right? I have not seen that.
Well, why would you believe it if you haven't seen it?
The evidence that's been provided seems compelling to me.
Have you ever seen the evidence of a human being coming from a Big Bang? That's like the people who believe that human beings came from apes, but they never seen a human being, an ape turn into a human being.
Well, I disagree with that. I mean, I disagree with how you framed that premise there.
So what now?
I disagree with what you said.
What did I say?
You said that human beings, or have human beings come from apes?
You think that you think that human beings came from ape?
No, but we are related to them.
You related to an ape?
In some ways, yes. We are.
How are you related to an ape?
Through evolution.
And how? So the ape came from the evolution?
Yes.
And so a Big Bang happened and you saw an ape come from it?
No.
And so why you believe that then? I've never seen an explosion and an ape came from it, nor have I seen a human being come from it.
Well, if I don't believe in evolution, then I don't believe in anything. Like what?
Why don't you live that way and not believe in anything?
Because there's no other alternative, right?
Right, so don't believe anything.
What?
Live your life not believing in anything.
I do that, yeah.
But you believe in the Big Bang.
And yeah, it's the leading scientific idea. We're not sure.
Until you see a human being come from a Big Bang, don't believe it.
Okay.
That
I don't really think
that makes sense?
What?
Does that make sense?
And yeah, I don't really think about evolution much unless it's brought up by, like, in some ways.
And the next time a scientist or anyone tell you that human being came from an explosion, tell them to show you the picture of a human being coming from an explosion.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Are you close to your father or your mother?
I'm closer to my mother.
That's why you don't believe in God. You got to overcome your mama.
Maybe. My father is very religious. He's a Christian. My mother's not very religious.
Right. Why are you close to her and not your father?
That's a good question. I'm close to. I'm in good terms with my father. I don't hate him or anything, but I don't know. I guess I've always been closer to my mother because my father's always been working, and she's the one that raised me.
And so she turned you away from your father toward her, and now you don't believe in God. You believe in what the hell that she believes in.
I don't think that's the reason why. I think he was just working all the time, and she was at home raising me.
I know, but when he wasn't paying attention, she was turning you away from him to her. You want to know if there's, for yourself, without me or anyone convincing you that there is a God. You want me to tell you how to know?
How?
First of all, pay attention to what's happening inside of you and forgive your mother, and you will know that there is a God.
Forgive my mother?
Yeah, for her lack of patience, for impose her will on you, for making you be close to her and not your father.
She's very patient, and I don't think she's ever imposed her will on me.
Has she ever done anything wrong?
She has, yeah. She has done a lot.
Forgive her for those things.
I could do that, yeah. I could do that.
And then you shall know God. But until that, don't believe in God that you don't see for yourself yet. You're right about that. You're totally right. But don't be convinced of anything else either. It's enough to know that you don't believe, but don't try to make yourself believe. And don't believe in evolution or anything. Just live a life of non-belief.
Okay, I could do that, yeah.
That makes sense?
Yes.
And I want you to do me a favor. Do you mind?
Okay, what's the favor?
Do the silent prayer. Let me know what you think about it. You heard about that?
A silent prayer?
www.silentprayer.video. It's something. It's a thing I put together that will cause you to kind of be still, come out of your thoughts, and you should know the truth. You can go to rebuildingaman.com /church and let me know what you think about that.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. I love your show.
All right, thank you, bud. I appreciate you, Victor.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Amazing. When someone can show me an explosion, they call Big Bang thing, and a human being come out of there, then I'll be convinced. If someone can show me an ape or a monkey that turned into a human, then I'll believe that. Other than that, it's just hogwash. It's just lies and false details. And then you hear people, oh, I believe it. A human being came from apes or monkeys. I'm like, okay, have you ever seen an ape or a monkey turned into a human being? And then they make these pictures where they show the ape walking bent over like, and then they show you another picture, it look like he stood up a little bit, another picture. It's just a picture. And you can make those pictures do anything you want. Let me go to Steve, a first time. There's one line open, 888-7753-773. Steve, a first time call out of Illinois. Steve, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey.
Love you guys. Love your show, man.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, you're a gentleman. Perfect gentleman, dude. You know what? This was kind of just sporadic. I didn't even think about it. But I've called into a TV show one time, and I probably offended him. I don't know if you heard of Man Cow, but
Yeah, I know Man Cow.
Yeah, I love that guy too.
Me
Dude.
too.
Yeah, yeah, and I hope he's okay. You know, God bless him and his family and everything. And but I think mostly the reason why I needed to connect was to I guess just show some love first off. I mean, and the word love is not really used often these days, so I'm like just happy that that you're on the air and you're doing what you're doing with all your might, and you're stepping right with the Lord. And I don't know. Just to make a long story short, I'm nervous, but
relax. Take a breath. Slow down for a minute. Take a deep breath.
It's the coffee, man. I binge on it very often in my life, so probably that.
You drink a lot of coffee? Hello?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. I do. Sorry, I muted you, sir.
Why do you drink so much coffee?
It's kind of just it's a go-to because I feel like oftentimes I'm not active. I don't have a lot of things to rely on to get me. God made man in His image. There's not a lot that gets me hyper or active enough to show my real side.
How old are you?
I just turned 40 this year, dude.
40?
Yes, sir.
And why do you feel you need to be active?
I think it's because I feel often the urge to show faith and goodness in God, and to try to relay that to people so they know that this life's lived by faith and it's not all about money. And
but why do you feel you need to show that
prosperity.
why do you need to show that to anyone? Why don't you just be that way but not trying to show anyone anything?
Because it gets kind of tricky in these parts. I don't know. Chicago's a crazy place, man. I didn't even know I was going to be living here as long as I have, but not a lot of believers around here and people who would actually stop and take some time with God, And,
but why is that a concern of yours?
Because oftentimes it's like there's not really much else to do,
But why you need things to do? The less you have to do, the better you are. The better off you are. Why do you feel you need to have things to do?
Because sometimes often I feel as if I'm letting my family down, like my in-laws and stuff.
Your in-laws?
Yeah.
Are you married?
Yeah, I'm married, man. Yeah.
You're married?
Yes, sir.
And why?
I believe it's a representation of God's kingdom.
And you love the hell you're catching from your marriage?
Sometimes I love experiences that I've, sometimes I reflect upon the victories I've had with God. And
do you love the hell you're getting from marriage?
No, sir. No.
And so
I don't really love hell, but I look out for people that are in it, and there's a lot of people that I believe that are really struggling with it, and I just...
But it's not your job. You can't even take care of yourself. How are you looking out for them?
Yeah, you're right, dude. You're
no,
right.
That was a question. You can't take care of yourself. How are you looking out for them?
I just have, I guess, I don't know, like, oftentimes you see when people are unstable in their life, and I empathize a lot.
But why? You're not even stable in your own life. How can you empathize or try to... But what do you get?
Sometimes I get, it just depends on the moment, and the times. There's often times I do feel like I'm right. I'm right where I have to be, and then other times I'm being pushed
But if you felt like if you ever felt like where you are where you need to be, you would never try to help anyone because you can't help anyone. You can't even help yourself. I can't help myself. You can't help anyone. Why even try?
Yeah. Why try? I don't know, but I mean, I usually revert to the Bible because it says, you go out there and, you take courage, and courage takes to do something,
But real courage
the only way you find courage is doing something. I mean,
no, courage comes by not doing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there is, but I mean, what's action without inaction, or what's inaction without action, though?
Life.
'Cause, I mean, we're all.
Inaction without action is life.
Okay.
And what did you say about your in-laws?
Oh, I love them and everything. They're party animals, dude, and I I try to get away from that scene. But
why would you get away from them?
Maybe pride. It's probably, I was going to tell you too, like, I got an issue with pride. Like,
I'm sorry?
I have like a pride thing going on. I'm praying about it. I tried the silent prayer in the car and whatever, but,
you need you need to take your wife far away from the in-laws, or they're going to destroy your marriage.
All right.
Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
I love my mother. I'm not sure if it's, I don't know how she would take it. I haven't. Sorry, I'm delayed, man.
I love my mother. I'm not sure how she's going to take it, so I haven't. If you love her, you would go and forgive her.
Oh. But if I do that, are you certain that she's not going to take it as an offense? Or?
If she does, that's not your issue. That's her problem, not yours.
Well, because I mean, of course I will.
If she's going to take it as an offense, what she's saying is, I don't love the truth. I don't want to hear it. And that's on her. But you forgive her for what she's done to you, and God will forgive you, and let her stay in her hell.
All right. It's crazy, man. Like, the hell and heaven thing. What he said when, I think it was David, right? He talked about if he makes his bed in hell.
And you're making your bed in hell by not forgiving your mother. And then not standing up to your in-laws, and you're out there trying to help folks, and you're not helping yourself.
But, I mean, do you have any like, how am I supposed to do that if
in your weakness?
I'm already feeling, huh?
How are you supposed to do that, and what?
If I already feel like I'm doing what I should, it's just I'm not seeing the best of me in it all the time. Do you see what I mean? Like, because I mean, whenever somebody looks at themselves, they don't always need a mirror. So I'm like, if I'm looking at myself and I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing the best I can as a man, as a husband. I just would think, what would be the best? Or I mean, I'm asking you, as a man. I'm not sure how old you are, but
older than dirt.
Okay. All right. Dude.
God made me first, and then he made dirt.
Yeah, but dirt is such a good thing, people grow from it, or
But how are you going to be right if you don't forgive your mother?
I don't know. I think I did already. I mean, I've always told her I loved her. Then
that's not forgiveness. You don't love her. If you loved her, you will forgive her.
Yeah. I mean, but don't you think, like, deep in our hearts, we, like, as people of God, we all have an inner knowledge that's not, you don't need a communication for it?
No, God said go and... Hold on, buddy. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me take a quick break. 888-7753-773. Back in a moment. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business But because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father. Because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663. And we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. Okay, folks, welcome back. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Quick announcement. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. And James Hake is on fire from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 12 noon today, the American Anchor Baby, flying high, but not off fentanyl and not off pot. He is flying high on natural energy at 12 noon, Monday through Thursdays. And at 4 p.m. on Fridays, he's in the Trump plane. Amazing. At 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. And for personalized shout-outs, go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com. No, I'm sorry. Go to Cameo for personalized shout-out. Rebuildingtheman.com is for your donations and support. But for shout-outs, birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, or whatever, go to Cameo, encouragement, CAMEO.com. And CAMEO.com. The treasure chest is now open on DLive. And we're going to get to all the super chats in that in a minute. I want to go back to Steve out of Illinois. And hey, Steve.
Yeah, I'm here.
How will you get better if you don't forgive your mother?
I'm not sure, man. Like, I just sent her a text, but I think she already knows. Like, wouldn't you think, like, a mother who's been loving her whole life to her kids, dude, like...
No, your mother don't have love. Your mother never loved you. Women don't have love.
Well, then why do kids always, like, run to them, you know?
Because
kids always run to the mother.
Because they have hate and they draw you. They impose their will on you, and they get you angry. And the moment you become angry, they have control over you.
Oh yeah. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I get it. You know, it's
you got to face it, man. Like, if you want to be
discernment. Yeah, I did. I texted her. I don't mean to interrupt you.
You texted her right now?
Yeah, right during the break, dude. I was like thinking to myself, I go, what should I do? So I grab my devotional book, and then I'm like, hold on a second, let me just do what the man says. You know.
What's a devotional book?
Oh, it's a book from Pastor Andrew Womack, and It's called A Year of Devotions. It's a really good book. It's,
Put that away right now and never use it again.
Oh, okay. Sure, dude.
Everything you're looking for, Steve, is inside of you already. And a book ain't going to do it.
Yeah. The Bible does say that. I mean, in a sense, like I've read a lot of it, and
hey, Steve, because of time, go and forgive your mother. Does your wife obey you?
I would say for the majority, yeah.
Does your wife obey you?
Yes.
Does your wife obey you?
Yeah.
When you just said, I would say for the minority?
Or no, for the no, I said for the majority. No.
If she's not obeying you all the time, she's not obeying you.
Yeah, she's really close to her own mother, so
now you're lying.
Yeah. Huh?
If you ain't no way your wife is obeying you, you're lying about that. If she's close to her mama, she ain't obeying you.
Oh. Yeah, maybe I was maybe deceived a little bit or something. Or just...
So when you text your mother during the break, what'd you say to her?
Well, it's my mom. I just told her I forgive you and I love you,
Steve,
yeah.
You got to face your mama. You got to be looking at her, either FaceTime or go to her. You got to stand on solid ground, shaking in your boots, and tell your mother, if you want to be free, I'm sorry for resenting your mother for screwing up my life. You weakened me.
Yeah.
You have kids?
Okay.
Do you and your wife have kids?
No.
And how long
we've been trying.
How long you been married? Oh, you've been trying. Okay. But listen, are you doing my silent prayer?
Not regularly, but I tried it once. I never had went into a room and like quieted everything. And
Steve, you got to work on you, buddy. You got to work on you. You can't help anybody else. You can't do anything until you help yourself and let the light of God guide you.
Thank you, Jesse. Thanks so much, man.
But you got to face your mama. Texting her is not going to do it. You can't say, Mama, I forgive you, but I love you. That's not it. Mama, I'm sorry for resenting you for what you've done. And if her feelings are hurt, that's fine. That's just emotions which are evil anyway. And forgive your father for not protecting you from her.
All right.
Yes, sir. Do you have communication with your father?
No, he passed.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he's on the other side, man.
Other side of what?
Right now, dude. This life. He's on the other side of life, man.
Where is that?
About what I believe is on the other side, dude.
Where is the other side?
The other side is when the body stops completely, man.
But where's the other side of life, though?
It's heaven. It's with Jesus forever.
And where is heaven?
It's right here.
Where?
It's here, dude.
Where? Where? Hey, Steve? Did Steve hang up?
Oh, I muted you. Sorry, dude. Sorry. No, I muted you, dude.
Where is heaven here? You say it's here. Where is it? I'm looking around. I see it.
It's the kingdom of God. It's where you find the perfect peace.
Where is it here? No, you said it's here. Where is it? Where should I look?
It's right now. It's as we speak. We're here. We're in heaven, dude.
Where?
In a sense.
Where?
Right in front of you. Right in front of me.
So if you're in heaven right now, why do you feel like you're in hell?
Well, That's interesting. I mean, I never said I felt like I was in hell.
Yes,
I
you
never
have.
told you that.
Yeah, you did say that.
Oh, well, I don't remember saying that, but okay.
When you said that when you said you text your mama and
Yeah.
said I love you but I forgive you, when you said your wife listened to her mama, and when you said you're trying to please your in-laws, when you said about life is up, you in hell. You were telling me you were in hell.
Well, I guess so. I mean, if you say so. But
See, let me tell you this, buddy. The kingdom of heaven is inside of you. It's right here, right now. And right now means to stay present with now. Don't think about the future or the past, which doesn't exist anyway. And you're in paradise. But you got to forgive so you can see that clearly, all right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And do the
thank you. So,
do the silent prayer.
Okay. Is that supposed to be like daily done or
every morning, every night, and then during the day, if you get caught up in your thoughts, thinking about the past or the future, come back to where your body is, and you'll be fine.
All right, sir. Thank you for your time and dude, yeah, I'm very thankful, man, that I got on the air, dude. I'm amazing. I've been waiting to say it on my line, dude. Oh my God, I've been waiting to say that to you guys, dude. I love you guys in that studio, man, and that's everything, man. Like, I'm so happy for you guys, dude.
Thank you, man.
I'm gonna thank you for lifting your hearts to God too, man, because dude, it's nice to know that you guys are believers and dude that we're not alone here, you know?
That's right. Well, call me again, all right?
All right. Jesse, thank you so much, man.
All right, buddy.
You guys have a good one.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye now. Amazing. There's a line, 888-7753-773. Let me go to a first-time call out of Tennessee. Victor, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
All right, thanks, Mr. Jesse.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to understand how am I going to forgive my mom, my dad, because I'm not really a man. I'm basically a boy. That's just something something I have to come to terms and conditions about.
How old are you?
I haven't matured like I ought to have.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
And why haven't you matured?
Don't know.
And why do you say you're a boy instead of a man?
Because I don't have my own place. I allow the psychiatric system to mess with my mind. I'm not independent. I don't have means to do things on my own.
You live with your parents?
No, sir. I live just about the same. I live pretty much about the same. I live in a group home called Park Center.
Oh, I see. And so your question for me is what?
How do I forgive my mom and dad for not? How do I forgive my dad for not being there for me when I was a kid? And how do I forgive my mom for making him seem like a fiend?
You go to your mother, and once you see that you do have that anger toward them, and you know that it's wrong for being angry because it only hurt you, it doesn't hurt anybody else but you, and it does stop you from growing into a natural man. And when you see that you're wrong for resenting them because just as you can't help yourself, they could not help themselves, you go and say, you know what, I realize now you guys couldn't help yourself. I'm sorry for resenting you. I'm wrong. And when you do that, have no expectation. Don't expect them to apologize or anything. God will forgive you, and everything will start to change for you. You'll start to see your way out of the darkness. And if you stay with the light, you're gonna realize that you haven't missed a step. You don't have no past or future. You have right now, and right now will be amazing. Everything will open up for you. But you got to realize they couldn't help themselves. If they could have done better or differently, they would have. They did not have love to give you.
Right.
And so just apologize to them for resenting them for that. They could not help it. And then do the silent prayer. Have you tried that yet?
No, I haven't.
Well,
I think I know where I can click the link for it.
Yeah, at rebuildingtheman.com/church or prayer or whichever. And do that. And I'm telling you, Victor, everything will start to open up for you. God loves you. He's with you. And he's just waiting to guide you out of the hell of the imagination. So stop resenting yourself. Don't judge yourself. Have no opinion about self. And you'll see things will start to change. Because in reality, real reality, not the illusion, you're neither right nor wrong. You're not a sinner and you're not a saint. You're not this and you're not that. You're not an alcoholic. You're not a drug addict. You're none of those things. So drop all those identities about yourself and life will open up, man. It'll change so fast, it'll make your head swim.
I got a random question for you, Mr. Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Do you know anything about electromagnetic energy?
No.
Okay, never mind then.
So go and forgive your parents and do the silent prayer. Let me know how it goes.
All right.
All right, and don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't compare yourself to anyone. You just be you and live your life. Don't say, oh, I don't have this or I don't have that. I'm not like that person or this person. You just live your life one step at a time, one moment at a time. And things will be fine, man. Let me know how it goes, all right?
Yes, sir.
But stop judging yourself.
All right.
All right, buddy. I wish you well.
All right. Thank you so much, Jesse.
You're welcome. Amazing. Super chat. Super.
Super chats.
Amazing.
Super chats. Do we still alternate for these or like what do I do?
We can.
Like
over on D Live, Stan69 gave a diamond saying that
Can you
prisoner.
bring that back?
I'm doing it.
That prisoner apparently had a valid passport. I don't know.
Evidently. It's so insane. Just think about it. They sent everybody to get one man. The military mama, everybody. For one man. And yet they leave the borders wide open.
He and his sister were illegals.
So according to reports.
Yeah.
The Brazilian guy?
Uh-huh.
They're from Brazil illegally.
I looked it up and read a New York Times article, or a portion of it, and sure enough, he was illegal, and then his sister was an overstayed visa.
According to that. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
But they leave the border wide open. They send the world after one man.
And they're going to deport her because she wouldn't help.
One man and a dog.
Terrible.
And they're all proud of themselves. CNN is all proud. No. I ain't proud of that at all. Put those people in the military on the borders, then I'd be proud of you. Until that happen, it ain't working. You can praise the dog and the dog mama, but until you put those men on the borders and do what you did to get one man, then I'll be happy because I know that my country will be fine. Amazing.
Over on Rumble, a Rumble rant from that handyman.
Nice.
Morning, crew.
Good morning.
Being enlightened till I rise with a Rumble rant.
Oh, thank you.
That handyman.
Handyman.
Being enlightened till I rise. Morning, gentlemen. Jesse, I was just listening to the show while praising Jesus. When I realized...
All in the name.
I realized I do know some disadvantaged people. Oh, I guess this is an answer to the biblical question.
Do you know any unfortunate or disadvantaged people?
I do know some disadvantaged people, I realized while praising Jesus. Praising Jesus. Anyone who listens to thoughts are unfortunate / disadvantaged, he says, or she says.
Thank you for responding to that. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you.
NF bought you a coffee. Hi, Jesse. I have 3 children, and in the darkness, I turned them away from their father. NF says, must be a lady. Mother, we are not married. I have acknowledged my wrongdoings, but he's unable to see that there was something driving me. He blames me for my actions. He has a relationship with the kids. They talk here and there. He picks them up seldomly meaning rarely.
Yeah.
He attempted to lead in the past, but I could not see the value in his presence and leadership then. I homeschool our children, and I'm trying to overcome hard. I do the silent prayer every day and night, forgave both my parents. Children miss their dad's presence in the home and often ask me why he's no longer here. Our son expresses that he wants to follow his dad's rules and not mine.
Nice.
I miss his presence and order also. How do I deal with this? Asks NF.
By not being angry, doing the silent prayer and taking one step at a time, it'll work itself out. It's enough to see what you've done and then know that it wasn't you that did that, but it's the spirit that made a home of you. Stop taking credit for that. You've admitted that you were wrong. And stay with the prayer. It'll work itself out. I'm telling you, it will work itself out. Thank you.
Also on Buy Me a Coffee, Mike Young bought you a coffee. Hey, Jesse, you were talking about customer service the other day and what you have experienced, any bad service lately. What have you experienced any bad service lately? Because it's getting worse as many companies continue to hire people based on affirmative action, he says.
It's a mess, Mike. The post office, the bank, everywhere. It's just a mess now. Thank you.
Vlad, the non-black, black, Haitian, not Russian, bought you 5 coffees.
Thank you.
Hey, Jesse, I agree with you 100% about we become what we hate. In fact, I have a theory that black people of today are the reincarnations of the white slave owners of the past. What do you think about that? P.S. I love the message, man. Much love to you and the team.
What's wrong with the blacks? That's food for thought. Thank you.
Someone bought you 3 coffees. Hi, Jesse. I had my son homeschool since 6th grade. I put him in public school in his last year, 12th grade. Do you think he should go back to homeschool?
Yes.
Nessie bought.
Quit fast if you're able to do it. I'm not there. I don't see the situation. So, but I wouldn't put my kids in it. You put them right into hell. You can't trust the teachers. You can't trust the administration. So since it's his last year, why not just let him graduate from homeschool? And then he'll be grown, and whatever he just does from that is on him and not you. But I would not put him there. But you do what you think is best for yourself.
Nessie bought you 3 coffees. Ask. Are men gossiping more than women? At least that's what my friend Luis thinks, who heard from his neighbor, by the way, has a crush on Stacy. Pretty funny.
Men are gossiping and revengeful. They act just like female. They can't help it. They're like their mothers and don't know it. And it feels natural to them because they have accepted the natural female nature as natural. And they carry on like women. It's unfortunate because they're supposed to be the light of the world, but they're the darkness of the world, as is the nature of the woman, which is not her nature, but the spirit of evil. Amazing. Thank you.
Mr. Pink.
But don't be angry at them. They cannot see. If they were able to see, they would not be doing it. Thank you.
Mr. Pink bought you a coffee. It's Biba Thumpa Thursday. People too literal trying to etymology the Bible. Just read it and God will show you how to understand. Don't decipher or pick apart the Apostle Paul's words.
Stop etymology.
Just understand them. Romans 8:18, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to with the glory that shall be revealed in us.
Amazing. Deep. Thank you.
Marcus bought you a coffee. Love you all at JLP. Make men great again. God bless.
Right on. Thank you.
Mav Angel bought 10 coffees. You're amazing.
Amazing.
Beta No More bought 3 coffees. Been listening 6 months, and the show has completely changed me and opened my eyes. Now I see how racism isn't real. I see that TV shows, social media, the news, and other people's views are from the devil.
Yeah.
Before your show, I was starting to believe all that crap. Not anymore. I won't argue with the devil. Amazing.
Amazing. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. I'm telling you, folks, you stay with it all the way through the fire, it get clear. Thank you.
Hoosier Bear bought you a coffee. Jesse, you're proof of evolution. You're a monkey. JK, JK. Just kidding. Thanks for the great Bible thumping Thursday, Jesse and crew.
When you show me a monkey that turned into a human being, then I'll believe it. Or a human being that walk out of a big bang bang, then I'll believe it. Thank you.
Riley JM bought 3 coffees. Great insight, Jesse. I've been watching, listening about 6 months. First video I saw was you on Dr. Phil. YouTube actually recommended it to me. I instantly resonated with everything you said, went down the rabbit hole of videos because I wanted to hear more and more. Really resonated with the truth you were speaking. Amazing stuff.
Amazing. Thank you. We got to end right now. We'll finish those tomorrow. The Lord is willing to create no right. Thank you for your super chats. And get on that straight and narrow path. Stay there by yourself. You can't take anyone with you. You really can't. And it's going to blow your mind. Do the silent prayer. Go and forgive and watch. Jesse, a first-time call out of Virginia. Somebody just hung up. And another prayer. I'm out of time. Tomorrow is open line Friday. An amazing Bible thumper day today. Thank you. And the Hake Report is coming up now. And after the Hake, the American Anchor Baby. Have a good one, folks. Take care.
So you can something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know thyself so you can something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
You know, I'm 32 years old now, and I've been clinically depressed since I was 17 years old. And ever since I started listening to you a couple of months ago, bro, I don't even need to hear the word depression. I don't even care about that because that's not anything that I identify with anymore.
Nice.
I'm 100% cured. I'm 100% better because I've been listening to the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you. And I just can't even, begin to tell you how much I really appreciate the things that you're doing for young men. Young men need to hear this, and young men need to know this message that you're delivering because it's important. It's vital to their lives, Jesse. I just wanted to let you know that, man.
That's amazing. I mean, you made my day, man. When I hear one soul has returned to the Father, it's like 1,000. It's better than silver and gold. So God bless you, man.
Thank you, JLP and Nick.